All right, first off, I would like to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh when I do so in the name of Yahweh Shai. Today's lesson is a thin line between love and hate, right? So we're going to talk about the love and the hate we have within our Israelite community. Well, I would consider Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans Israelites, so within that community, right? And with this lesson, I'm gonna rebuke myself a little bit, right? Because some of this stuff I need to work on. So let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 54 first, right? Because we as a people, we still haven't learned, because we got this disease within our community called hate. We hate each other. We hate ourselves a lot of the time. We hate each other, right? We don't know how to love each other. We got stripped of who we were, and we never got built back up to that point, right? So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, right? So it says that the man that is tender among you, right? So that's brotherly love. We used to have that brotherly love and very delicate. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Now, this ain't talking about like he looking at him a certain way, a side-eyed and I'm mugging him or rolled his eyes in some kind of way, right? See, it's not talking about an evil eye like that. It's literally talking about like a mind frame, right? It's literally talking about how someone can, the screen went sideways, it got small. Is that my screen? There we go. So this eye ain't like a side eye or him mugging him. Is literally how he thinks, right? So our mentality, as Israelites, right, or is evil. We have an evil mentality towards each other, right? So that's what the eye is getting to. His eye shall be evil towards his brother and his wife of his bosom, right? So we have this mentality that we hate each other, right? We tit for tat with each other, right? Somebody can't even jump you in the line at the store, cut you off in traffic. You know what I'm saying? And you mad, you want to get back, you get back, right? So your eye evil towards your brother and your wife or your bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that us as people, right? Us as people, we need to work on that mentality. We have to understand that we need to work on our spirit and how we look and view other people. And we need to show each other love, right? And not only just love to other Israelites, you got to show love to all your people, right? All Israelites, right? And even when they doing bad, and that's when the hardest time when it is, that's the hardest time it is when to show some love when somebody did you wrong, right? But you got to find a way to still show love. Then I'm gonna get some examples later. Give me Matthew 24 and 12. All right, so an evil eye towards his brother. Like I said, it ain't a side eye, right? It's literally a mentality. And we got to work on our spirit because that mentality has to change. It's Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love for many shall wax cold, right? So this red letter, this is Christ saying this, right? And it's a prophecy. It says, because the iniquity shall abound, right? So we already know iniquity abounding. It ain't that hard to see. As soon as you get on Instagram or the TV, you see the abominations being pushed. You dig what I'm saying? On the kids and on young formidable adults, right? They trying to make them gay, right? But verse 12, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we know we're coming into these last days, it's going to be famine, right? Economic oppression in this society, right? Then Satan know he only got a little time left, so he doing his thing, right? So everything finna get worse and worse. The people around you, it ain't just finna be a race war, and you just finna be trying to protect yourself from other races. No, it's gonna be those of your own people too. You dig what I'm saying? So the love of many shall wax cold. Give me Leviticus 19 and 11. Leviticus 19 and 11. And through all of this, we got to learn how to love each other, right? Because we're commanded to. It's Leviticus 19 and 11. It says, ye should, actually, I'm going to drop down, then jump back up. Give me 17, scroll down to 17 to 18. It says, and thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, right? Keep in mind, again, like the evil eye, this is internal, this is not external, right? So, verse 17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. You can't be holding them grudges. Actually, it's going to get into that in the next verse. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord, right? And you can't hold grudges against, and that's again going into the mentality, right? You're supposed to let it go. You're supposed to forgive them, right? But you holding a grudge. That's not love, right? You holding a grudge is not loving your people, right? Even if they did wrong, you got to show love through that, right? And we're going to get into some examples, because let's just say your so-called enemy, right? Actually, give me what is that? Your enemy, the ox. Give me Exodus 23 and 4. No, go back. Let me, I'm going out of order. I don't want to lose my order. Go back to Leviticus. Just go Leviticus 19 and 17. Right? So you can't hold grudges, verse 18. You can't hold a grudge against the children of your people, right? You got to let it go. You got to forgive them, right? Give it up to God, right? Go up to verse 11. Right? And ye shall not, verse 11, ye shall not deal, you shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another, right? You lying to one another. This your brother, this your sister, you can't, this is a commandment also. So you just lying for no reason. It's not even a good reason for you lying. You just lying because that was the best thing you could think of, right? You just sin. We commanded not to lie to each other, right? We can lie to a heathen, to another nation, but according to the law, we can't lie to each other. How is that love, right? Lying, dealing deceitfully, dealing falsely, right? I'm telling you one thing, right? But it's really another thing, right? So that's dealing falsely with each other. That's not showing love. In these last days, right? We don't need to be telling each other the truth, right? We got people that need to get built up in this truth the right way, right? You can't do that dealing falsely with people, right? Lying to one another. All right. Give me Exodus 20 and 17. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. So we got the love and the hate, right? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, right? Salakia, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's, right? How can you love your neighbor and you want what they got? Now, let's just this going for another Israelite, or just the Israelite that don't know they're an Israelite yet, right? You can't want what they got, right? You can want them, be happy for them, right? Want something better for yourself, but that's theirs, right? You can't want what's theirs, right? So you coveting your neighbor's house, right? That's his house. Get your own house, right? Covet thy neighbor's wife. That's his wife. Get your own wife, right? So you can't covet nothing of your neighbors, right? Because that's not loving your brother. That's not loving your sister, right? That's theirs, right? You can't lust after what they got. Give me Exodus 23 and 4. Go over 3 chapters. In verse 4. And it says, if thou meet thy enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again, right? Now, we in Babylon, we ain't got no donkeys or cows in our backyard, right? But what we do have is cars, right? So let's just say I'm beefing with another brother, right? Showing love to that brother or following his law is if it's raining and he got a blown out tire, but that's my so-called op, right? No, well, hate is just saying, oh, that's him. He getting what he got coming to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what he get, right? But showing love and keeping his law correctly is me helping that brother, right? Helping him with his tire. And even if somebody do something bad to you, right? You show love by showing love to them. Now they have to deal with how they treating you, right? Show them love. Now they got to deal with how they treat you, right? Then you can basically teach through being humble, right? But make a long story short, let me read this one more time. This Exodus 23:4. It says, if thou meet thy enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring them back to him again, right? You see your brother or sister need help, even if you ain't seeing eye to eye with them, right? I got a couple people on particularly like, but if I see them in a bad spot, I'm gonna try to help that brother or that sister. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, right? And that's the spirit we need to be in. We need to be getting that spirit. That spirit is gonna help us get us up out of here, right? Give me Galatians 6:10. Galatians 6:10. All right. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, and as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them that are of the household of the faith, right? And this verse proved that you got to treat all Israelites right? Not just the ones that's in the truth. The all men, the book of Galatians was written to Israelites. So the all men, please don't run up and get cut on that, right? But the point is, right, let us do good to all men, especially unto them that are of the household of the faith, especially to those that's in the know that they are the 12 tribes, right? We got to do good unto them, but not just them, right? We got to do good to the other Israelites. We can't just sit here and say, oh, they eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. I hate them. No, they're not our ops. Those people got to need to wake up too, right? So we can't hate them either, right? We got to love all our brothers and sisters. They in oppression too. They in hell too, right? They ain't walking it. They ain't doing what we doing, but they still in the same place. They still our people, and they still going through the same thing we going through, right? They still see the same stuff when they turn on their TV and another black man or a black woman getting killed. They still see that too. You know what I'm saying? So we got to love all our people, not just the ones in the truth. We got to love all our people, right? Give me Matthew 5:44. Matthew chapter 5, verse 44, right? And it reads, but I say unto you, love your enemies, right? Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, right? So this sounds like a hard thing to do, right? And it's not talking about your enemy meaning like Esau, right? No, this talking about your enemy, like Leviticus 19 said, don't hold no grudges against the children of thy people, that person that you holding a grudge against with the children of your people, right? That's your enemy. Love that person. Love that Israelite, right? When they do bad to you, if they despitefully use you, take your kindness for blindness, right? Use your kindness and your humble and do good to them, and use that to teach them that they going off, right? Even if you are supposed to return evil from evil with another Israelite, right? So you ain't supposed to go tit for tat with another Israelite. They did this, so I'm gonna do that. And they did something evil to me, so I'm gonna do something evil to them. That ain't how it go. You dig what I'm saying? One more time. It says, but I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. So, hey, so this is gonna get deep, right? because the Most High has a default position. He loved all Israel, right? He just loved all Israelites, right? This verse 45, it says that ye may be children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil, the Israelites that ain't keeping the commandments, and on the good, the Israelites that are keeping the commandment, and send the rain on the just and the unjust. You dig what I'm saying? So just like we got to love all the Israelites, it's another verse that said the Most High wish that nobody perish. He don't wish none of our brothers and sisters will be the 2/3, right? We don't wish that either. You dig what I'm saying? But it still is. But he still loved all Israel. That's why in the end, all Israel gonna be saved. You dig what I'm saying? So he gotta love them. We gotta love them. Give me 1 John 3 and 18. No. Give me Proverbs 25 and 21. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 1. 21. This Proverbs 25 and 21, and it says, if thy enemies be hungry, give them bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give them water to drink, right? Now we talking about the enemies of our people, right? Yeah, when your enemies are your people, when they hungry, give them something to eat. You dig what I'm saying? When they need something to drink, give them something to drink. You dig what I'm saying? That's showing love, right? You're not doing that. It's showing hatred towards your brother, right? You're supposed to love your brother or your sister as thyself, right? So if you're hungry, what would you do? You will nourish yourself, right? You would get you something to drink, right? You would get you something to eat. Well, you got to do the same thing with your brother, right? One more time, that's Proverbs 25 and 21. It says, if thy enemies be hungry, give them bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink, right? So that's brotherly and sisterly love. That's the thin line between love and hate. You don't give them that bread. You don't give them that your enemy or of your people that water. That is hate. You give them that, and then you ain't supposed to be spiteful, right? Give all praise to the Most High and be humble, because the meek shall inherit the earth, right? Give me 1 John 3 and 18. 1 John. Yeah, 1 John. First John 3 and 18. It says, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth, right? Because anybody can say they love you, right? Anybody can just say whatever with their lips and say, articulate with their mouth, I love you, right? But if they, Esau, the white man, will tell you he love you while he oppressing you and giving you 110 years, and you know what I'm saying, and paying you minimum wage. You dig what I'm saying? Why he paying his buddy 20 times minimum wage for the same job? Esau can say anything, but we're not talking about Esau. We're talking about us. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, anybody can say anything, right? Let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed, right? Love is an action word. You got to show that, right? So you got to show in deed and in truth. You can't do it with a wicked mind frame. You can't do it. You dig what I'm saying? Insincerely, right? Because then it basically doesn't matter what you did. You can't like let's just say I'm feeding the homeless, right? I'm feeding the homeless, but I'm handing the sandwiches out like, yeah, y'all dirty, y'all need, you know what I'm saying? And I'm disrespecting the people, putting them down or whatever. That's not insincerity and truth. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody needs some, a sister need $100 for a electric bill before it get cut off. And I ball it up and throw it at her and cuss her out. You dig what I'm saying? That's not building up that sister. That's not showing that sister love or that brother love. So when you do the deed, you got to do it and do the deed in sincerity and in truth, right? So you can't just sit here and say, I love my people, I love my people, I love my people, and don't do nothing for your people, right? Every time it comes time for you to give alms or for you to help somebody that needs help, you don't do it, right? You just say it. And that's what this verse is about. You can't just say it, you got to be about it. One more time, 1 John 3 and 18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth, right? And that's how we supposed to love each other, in deeds and in truth, right? Not just lip service, in deed and in truth, right? And it's different ways to demonstrate love, right? So just open your mind real quick, right? So let's just say you need help. That's one way of loving, right? What about rebuke? Did the Bible say, thou shalt not suffer, thou shalt, go to back to Leviticus, go back to Leviticus 19 and 17 real quick, right? Because there's different ways to exhibit or demonstrate love, right? So if I show understanding, empathy, and caring for somebody, that's love, right? Or like I said, if you needed $100 on your electric bill, I shot you that. That's love, right? Or if I see you going off, right, I rebuke you. That's also love. Again, this Leviticus 19 and 18, 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon them, right? So that's another form of love. Rebuke is a form of love. So it's different ways of love, but you gotta learn how to show it. And like I said, we diseased as a people with this hate for each other. A lot of us hate ourselves, and if we hate ourselves, and the next person and my brother or sister look like me, how can I love them? So we plague with this disease of hate. And we, from the inception of all these slaveries we went into, when we got trodden down, we never got built back up in the spirit of loving each other. And that's what we need to do, right? Or that's what we need to work on, right? Sincerely, we need to work on, right? Give me 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, I have not charity. And I'm not, let me start over. This 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cherubim, right? What this verse basically saying is, you could have a tongue of men and speak like angels. You could be out teaching a word, right? You could be on the highways or byways. You could be doing all of wearing your fringes. You could be doing all that stuff, right? But if you don't have charity, right? If you don't have charity, right, with your brothers and sisters, it don't mean nothing, right? When it comes time for you to help your brother and sister, you never help, right? Where's your love for your people? All that stuff you're doing don't mean nothing, right? Verse 2. Though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all the mysteries and all the knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, I have not charity, I am nothing. So I got all these spiritual gifts that the Most High gave me, but I don't love my brother and sister. I don't do what I'm supposed to do for my nation of people, right? I am nothing, right? So you gotta love your people. You gotta give charity, right? And charity ain't always money, right? People ain't always got money to give, right? But you gonna find a way. The Most High gonna put a opportunity before you. It could be help, right? Somebody needs some help, or somebody needs somebody to talk to. It could be any of those things, right? But without charity, I am nothing, right? Give me Galatians 6 and 1. No. Give me Sirach chapter 12, verse 3. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 12, verse 3. This Ecclesiasticus 12, verses 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. So we just had the last verse that said, without charity, I am nothing. Then this verse said, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor unto him that giveth no alms, right? So you ain't doing what you supposed to do for your people. You nothing. You ain't you playing. You dig what I'm saying? And we can't get out of here playing, right? We're not getting out of here playing. We need to become the people that the book described, right? We need to kill off that old man, that old woman. We need to kill them, right? And don't build them back up again. Give me a Galatians chapter 3. I believe it's like 25. Galatians 3 and 25, some up in there. 8. I forget how many verses in that chapter. Galatians 3, yeah, something like 25. It says, scripture concluding. Scroll up. Let me do a word search real quick. Salakia. Galatians. Go to chapter 2, my bad. Salakia. Don't lose your train of thought, right? Because we talking about charity, alms, and you nothing without the charity and alms, right? And we talking about this new person that we got to become. This Galatians, go to 8 verse 18. Galatians 2 and 18. All right, so it says, for if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. So us, like I said, we downtrodden people, right? And we plague with the disease of hatred towards each other. And when we get built back up, we got to get back built back up in that spirit of loving one another, right? So you got to kill off that old man, that little coon, the hatred one, because that's all it is coonery. You hating your brother and your sister, you cooning, right? So you got to kill off that person, right? And when you kill that person, that's when this verse come in. This Galatians 2 and 18, one more time. For if I build again the things which I destroyed, what did you destroy? The old you, right? For if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor, right? So you kill that person and that person stay dead. You dig what I'm saying? Become this new creature, right? And Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, right? And when that new creature loves his brothers and sisters, right? Whether it's rebuking them, helping them, showing charity, or giving alms, right? So give me the next verse. Give me Galatians 6 and 1. This Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. It says, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, which ye which are spiritual, restore such one in a spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted, right? So let's just say somebody transgress you, right? You the man that's overtaken in a fault, right? So you got overtaken, somebody did you dirty, somebody did you wrong, right? You supposed to keep in mind, we talking about love it, somebody that did you wrong of your people, right? One more time, brethren, if a man be overtaken in fault, somebody did this man wrong, ye which are spiritual, restored such a one in the spirit of meekness. You ain't supposed to tear that brother down or that sister down. You dig what I'm saying? No, you supposed to build that person back up, right? Build that person back up, right? If they repented, help build them brothers and sisters back up. You dig what I'm saying? Because it says, consider thyself, lest you also be tempted. You could be in the same situation. So when your brother and sister, even if they did you wrong, if they repent, right, you build them back up in meekness, right, in humbleness, right, because you got to love your brother or your sister. You got to love them, right, because you can be in that same position. Give me first. No. Give me second. Give me no. Yeah, I think it's. Give me 2 Timothy 4 and 2. 2 Timothy 4 and 2. I think it's 2 Timothy. But it's a 1. It's 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 4 and 2. All right. It's 2 Timothy 4 and 2. It says, preach the word, and be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine, right? So when you that long suffering is what I want to key on, right? So, you know, we rebuke people, we reprove people of our nation, right? We're trying to build them up, but you got to have that long suffering, right? That same long suffering that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai got for you, right? Because most of us should be dead, right? Going through this Bible and going through the law, statutes, commandments, a lot of us fell short a long time ago. Like we should have been dead, right? So the Most High long suffering, right? And we supposed to have the traits of the Most High. So you got to be long suffering with your brother and sister. Can't be quick. I'm guilty of this. I'm quick tempered. I'm short. I got a short circuit, right? So you got that long suffering is real big with me. I gotta calm myself down. I have to be circumspect of my actions and how I come off, because that's not showing love, right? It ain't all about me, right? So that long suffering is the point of this. Give me Exodus. Now let's get into an example, right? Let's get into an example of loving. It's the two examples actually of loving your brother and sister. Give me Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. Right? So this is Moses, right? And it's the example of loving your brother and your sister. This Exodus 2 and 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, right? So Moses done grew up in Pharaoh's house, but now he grown. When Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So Moses walking around, he checking out his people, seeing how oppressed they are, and he see an Egyptian, somebody of another nation, beating his brother. We see this all the time. Police brutality, police killings on TV. We see another nation smiting our brothers and sisters, right? So we can walk in Moses' shoes in this particular scenario because we've seen this also. But it's going to get into the point of loving, and it's two different scenarios. But it's going to get into the point of loving your brother, and this he's going to show the love which the Bible teaches, right? So he's seen he's seen his brother getting smitten by somebody of another nation. Let's see what he did. Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. So Moses, he looked around, made sure the coast was clear, right? And then he gave that Egyptian some smoke, right? Hid him in the sand, right? Stepped on him, right? So he, right, showed brotherly love, right, to his brother, right? Loving his brother, right? Let's see what happened next. Verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. Now he come out the next day, right? His two brothers fighting, right? So first day he had to protect his brother, right? Next day his two brothers fighting, right? It says verse 13. And when he went out to second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? So they fighting, he started rebuking them, right? Rebuking the brothers, right? That's a form of love, rebuke and reprove, right? And the word literally means correction. Rebuke literally means correction. It's not always a negative connotation associated with that word. It means correction, right? And you gotta that correction is a good thing, right? You telling somebody, hey, don't go rob that store. Somebody just got killed trying to rob that store. You ain't if you love them, you're gonna try to stop them from robbing that store, right? But if you don't love them, you're gonna say, hey, I hope you get out. That's them, right? They ain't got nothing to do with me, right? And they go down there and get killed. That's not loving your brother and sister, right? But See, he protected his brother, and the very next day he had to rebuke his brothers, right? And with that, I want to give all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh, and I do so in the name of Yahweh Shai. With this lesson today was a thin line between love and hate, right? So love your brother and you love your sister. Again, I want to give all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh, and I do so in the name of Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharala and Barakatah. Yahweh Barakatah, Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Yasharala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
You stop it.